Sometimes you have to admit when you're wrong before you can say when you are right. Welcome to another video. It's LT Spears here, and another daily video. So yesterday I posted a video like 12:30, 12:15ish Wednesday morning talking about the World Series, and then I just could not think of anything else. So this morning I'm like, I gotta finish this research for this video, and I got it all done. So let me explain this video. So last October, I filmed 3 videos. I think on October 25th, the 27th, and November 3rd, explaining my playoff bracket and the best player for me for each team for the 2019-20 NBA season. And I completely forgot about that because it is a year later. We have the Lakers as the champions and all that stuff. It was ridiculous year, like over a year basketball, but thanks COVID. And then so I wanted to compare to see if my views have changed from a year ago of who the best players are I thought back then to who they are now. Some people have been traded, free agencies, all sorts of stuff. Like an example, Andre Iguodala was on the Warriors, and then he signed, I think, with the Grizzlies, traded to the Heat. So yeah, so this is back when, at the beginning of the 2019-2020 season, before any of those trades happened. So I'll explain if we go. So starting with the Cavs. Back then, I went to my old video when I said Kevin Love was the best. I think Andre Drummond is now the best player. And just a rebounding machine that I think is going to do really, really good. For the Bulls, it stayed the same. Zach LaVine back then and Zach LaVine now. Giannis then and Giannis now stayed the same. For the Pistons, Blake Griffin now and Blake Griffin back then. Now, the Pacers are different. I said Victor Oladipo a year ago. Now, I'm saying it's T.J. Warren. Victor Oladipo been injured. I think he's still affected by that, but T.J. Warren, went off in the bubble for a couple games, just, ridiculous, so I gave it to him. For the Lakers, we got LeBron for both of them, who else? Back then, I said Paul George was the best player on the Clippers. Now, it's Kawhi Leonard. I mean, Paul George has been knocked back on a few pegs. Even Kawhi had been knocked back a few pegs, losing to the Nuggets and stuff like that, just choking in Game 7. But I think he's still the best. Next, we have Dwayne Dedmon, who I thought was the best player on the Kings. Honestly, I don't even know where Dwayne Dedmon is now, but it's De'Aaron Fox of the Kings. On these very bad teams, you're going to be able to tell what the heck, what I was thinking. Devin Booker back then and Devin Booker now for the Suns. Back then I said Stephen Curry was the best on the Warriors. I mean, just coming off the 2018-19 season. Now it's Andrew Wiggins. Let me explain. So back then, he was on the Timberwolves, so he wasn't even in the conversation for this. But Steph, broken hand, he only played 5 games. Klay Thompson, hurt. Draymond, old and not good without Klay and Steph on the floor. And then you have KD, Kevin Durant is in there, and so just going down the order, Andrew Wiggins would be the best. I mean, his huge contract and all, but I mean, he wasn't the god worst. I mean, the rest of them were just a bunch of scrubs on the Warriors. I mean, they were bad this year. Damian Mitchell, I should say, Damian Mitchell now and Damian Mitchell then. If you go back a year ago and watch that original video, you'll get the joke. Nets. Nikola Jokic then and now for the Nuggets. Steven Adams, I said, was the best on the Thunder a year ago. Now it's Chris Paul. And he's going to get traded, so a year later, if I ever do this again, he's going to be somewhere else. Damian Lillard now and Damian Lillard then. Karl Anthony Towns now and Karl Anthony Towns back a year ago. LaMarcus Aldridge. And LaMarcus Aldridge for the Spurs. I think I get him and DeMar DeRozan mixed up. So I think LaMarcus is better than DeMar DeRozan, but thanks for confusing me. Luka now, Luka then. Russell Westbrook, I said, was the best on the Rockets last year. Now it's James Harden. I'm pretty certain that James Harden is the best. Okay, Andre Iguodala, I said, was the best on the Memphis Grizzlies a year ago. Now there's Ja Morant. Who are you? Drew Holiday, I said, was the best on the Pelicans a year ago. Now it's Brandon Ingram. And I'm pretty certain with that. I am a huge Brandon Ingram fan. We have Nikola Vucevic, who a year I said was the best on the Magic. Now I think it's John Isaac. And it might even be, what's his name? Aaron Gordon? But I have no clue on the Magic. They were the ACI. They're not bad. They're just good enough to get swept by the Bucks. Basically. Nets. Jimmy Butler now for the Heat. We have Bradley Beal then. And now for the Wizards, we have Marvin Williams, who I said was the best on the Hornets a year ago. I wrote down Bismack Biyombo. It might be Terry Rozier. It might be P.J. Washington. It might be Cody Zeller. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not Cody Zeller. But I had no clue who to put for the Hornets. I mean, that's one of the reasons it took me so long. Cause I'm like, who do I pick? And Bismack Biyombo is my favorite. But I mean, who is on this team? Once Kemba Walker left, it is bad, like really bad. Nets, Trae Young now and Trae Young then. Julius freaking Randle I put with the best player on the Knicks. Not the Nets. The Knicks, I still get confused. Now, I'll explain more of that in a second. RJ Barrett, the current best player on the Knicks, in my opinion. Kevin Durant, I put with the best, but he was hurt. So Kyrie, I put now. Kawhi Leonard now and then. Jason Tatum then and now for the Celtics. And Joel Embiid, both times over the span of a year. And that was October 25th. Now we're moving into the ranking. So I wrote down what I thought it would be and what it actually is. Okay, so I thought the Hornets would so we're starting with the East. The Hornets would come in 15th. It was the Cavs. The Cavaliers would come in 14th. It would the Hawks. 13th, I said it would be the Knicks. It was the Pistons. 12th, the Magic. It was the Knicks. Nets, I said the Bulls, and the Bulls were the 11th, so I got that right. I said the Hawks would be 10th. The Wizards were actually 10th. 9th were the Wizards. I said the Wizards. It was the Hornets. 8th with the Heat. I said the Heat. It was the Magic. I got the Nets and the Nets correct. So the Nets were the 7th seed. But the funny thing is, I thought Durant and Kyrie Irving was on the Nets because if you go back to the video, I rewatched it and I said, I don't think Kyrie Irving is going to be good enough to do it by himself on the Knicks. And I said the Nets made the playoffs because they're the Nets. Turns out they're on the Nets, not the Knicks. So I correct about that. 6th seed, I said would be the Pistons. It was the 76ers. The 5th seed I said would be the Raptors. It was the Heat. 4th seed I said the Pacers. It was the Pacers. 3rd seed I said the Celtics. It was the Celtics. 2nd seed I said the 76ers. It was the Raptors. And 1st seed the Bucks and the Bucks. I got that right. Now to the West, I said it would be the Pelicans. In last place it was the Warriors. I didn't realize Steph hadn't had an injury yet, and Clay was supposed to come back, but he didn't in a suspended season and everything, and everyone else wasn't supposed to suck. I said the Suns would be in 14th. They really, really improved. That ain't no stretching the bubble, but the Timberwolves were 14. That's how they got that first overall pick. I thought it would be the Grizzlies right above them, but it was the Pelicans. And 12th, I thought it would be the Maverick. It was the Kings. Nets, I thought it would be the Kings. It was the Spurs. For the 10th spot, I said Timberwolves. It was the Suns. 9th, I said the Thunder. It was the Grizzlies. 8th, I said it was the Lakers. It was the Trailblazers. 7th, the Clippers. It was the Mavericks who ended up playing each other, just like the Lakers and the Trailblazers did. 6th, I got correct. It was the Jazz, and it was the Jazz. 5th, I put the Spurs. It was the Thunder. 4th, I put Rockets, and it was the Rockets. 3rd, Nuggets, it was the Nuggets. 2nd, I put the Trailblazers, it was the Clippers. And 1st, I thought it would be the Warriors, and it was the Lakers. Now, this was October 27th. Now, here's how I thought the playoffs were going to go. scroll forward in my notes. So that's all the seeding that I thought it would be. Okay, so I thought the Pacers would beat, what I said, the 5th seed Raptors. I said the Celtics, the 3rd seeded Celtics would win. The 2nd seed 76ers and the Warriors would beat. No, the Bucks would beat the 8th seed in the first round. And then I thought it would be the 76ers and the Bucks moving on to the Eastern Conference Final. And then going on to the other side, I thought the Clippers, the 7th seeded Clippers, the 4th seeded Rockets, the 3rd seeded Nuggets, and the 1st seeded Warriors. And I thought it would be the Nuggets and the Warriors in the Eastern Conference Final. And so I had a 76ers Warriors final, and the Warriors would end up being the NBA champion. I wrote this November 3rd. What actually happened was the Lakers moved on, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the Rockets moved on the West. In the East, the Bucks, the Raptors, Celtics, and Heat. And then the Heat beat the Bucks, the Celtics beat the Raptors. In the other division, the Lakers beat the Rockets, and the Nuggets beat the Clippers in that upset. And then the Lakers beat the Nuggets, the Heat beat the Celtics, and the Lakers beat the Heat for the Lakers to be the championship. So I had the 1 seed win, I just had the wrong team. Somehow, in my video, I even pointed out how Steph had his hand injury, Klay wasn't going to be there, Draymond's old, Andre Iguodala left, and KD left, and I still picked the Warriors. I don't know why. I thought they were going to be so good. Ignorant me. 2020 is hindsight, and we're in 2020. Funny, huh? Ha ha ha. Anyway, let me know any other videos you want to see. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, bye. I gotta go to math class.